Hi, today I want to talk to you about the modern horizontal round bar railing system. We get asked a lot of questions about how to install this type of system, and I just want to quickly cover the basics of how to install one of these systems. The round bar system consists of some 5/8 inch diameter round bars that come in some different finishes. There's a stainless steel version. We have some steel powder coated round bars that come in black, gray, and oil rub bronze. In order to install these types of system, they're normally installed with just plain square post or with square box nulls. In order to install the round bar into the null post, you're simply going to drill holes into the null post. For the stainless steel round bar, you need to use a 5/8 inch bit. There's different types of bits that you can use, and I just want to briefly cover the different types that there are. The standard bit that most people are used to is a twist bit. You can get these in various sizes. The 5/8 inch twist bits can tend to be a little bit expensive. The downside to using a twist bit is you get a lot of tear out. If you're going to be using a twist bit to drill these holes, I would recommend clamping a smaller piece of flat wood to the surface of the null to drill through it to help decrease any chance of tear out. The next bit that I want to talk to you about is a spade bit. Spade bits are readily available in different sizes also. For the stainless steel round bar, again, I would use a 5/8 inch spade bit. If you do that, the hole may be a little bit tight for the stainless steel round bar to go into it. In that circumstance, I would recommend using a Dremel tool with these small sanding drums on them to help enlarge the hole a little bit so you can get a snug fit with that. In terms of the powder-coated round bar, the powder-coated round bar starts out at 5/8 of an inch, but after powder coating it, it's going to be a little bit thicker than the stainless steel round bar. That means you've got to move up in size to probably the next size up, standard size in things like spade bits, is up to an 11/16 inch size. Downside to that, there is going to be a little bit of slop in that hole when you drill that, but we recommend that when you install these round bars that you inject some epoxy into the holes that you're going to insert the round bar into, and that should take care of any type of just small looseness in where the round bar goes into that hole. The last bit that I want to talk to you about, and my favorite, is a Forstner bit. Forstner bits do a great job of drilling holes without producing a lot of tear out. Tear out is the amount of wood that is chipped off from the sides of the hole as the bit enters the wood null post. With the Forstner bits, again, you can get a 5/8 inch size or an 11/16 inch size. You can also special order bits that will get in between those sizes that you might want to consider if you're thinking about installing any of the round bar that's powder coated, either the black or the gray or the oil rub bronze. In that case, I would recommend ordering a Forstner bit in a 17 millimeter size. That's actually going to be between a 5/8 and an 11/16 inch size, and it's going to make for a tighter fit where the round bar goes into the null post. I also want to talk to you today about drilling these holes in the null post on an angle. If you have stairs going up and the round bars are going to be at a pitch, you're going to need to drill those holes at an angle. There's 2 or 3 different ways that you can do that. One is if you have a large enough drill press that has a tilting table, you can actually drill your null post up there on a drill press. Most people don't have access to that type of equipment, and in that circumstance, I would recommend using one of these devices. You can order these devices. They're relatively inexpensive. They're a drill guide for for drilling holes onto a surface, either straight up perpendicular if your bars are going straight, or on an angle. So you just simply insert your bit into this chuck, and then you'll attach your drill to the outside shaft of this, and it will enable you to actually drill the hole at an angle into the surface after you've clamped the drill template guide onto the side of the newel post. That's a great way to drill an angled hole and to make sure that you're at the right angle. The other thing that you're going to need to do before you drill that is actually find the angle that you need to drill those holes at. In that circumstance, I would recommend getting one of these angle finders. You can get these at the big box stores, and these types of devices, they simply go on to, if you simply put a board running up the stairs and lay this onto that board, it will tell you the exact angle that your stairs are going at, and then you know what angle you need to drill your holes into the newel post. The other way that you can drill angled holes and do that successfully is to make a pitch block. A pitch block is taking a scrap of wood, preferably the same width as the newel post that you're drilling, and what you want to do is you want to drill a hole all the way through the center of that block. Now, for doing that, if you do have a drill press, I would recommend doing that so that you make sure that you're centered and you come out the bottom side the same place that you went in on the top side. After you've done that, if you take your miter saw and turn your miter saw to the angle of the stairs, that the angle that your stairs is going up, and actually make a cut across the side of that block. And if you'll rotate it around 180 degrees and make another cut smaller, but don't get over so far that you get into the hole that you drilled, and drill another corner off of there, what you'll find is if you line up the center of your block where the hole is with where you want to drill that, and clamp that to your newel post, that'll be a guide that you can drill, and it'll help guide that drill bit at the angle that you want to drill that at. The modern horizontal round bar railing system requires you to cut the round bars to the length before installation. The bars only come in 8-foot lengths, and the maximum distance that we recommend that you span between newel posts or supports is 5 feet. So you're going to have to cut the metal round bar, and if you're familiar with woodworking, you may not be familiar with doing metal work. It's not a difficult thing to cut the bars. There's a lot of different tools that you can use to do that. One of them is to use a bandsaw. This is a portable bandsaw. It's battery powered, but they also make corded versions. That makes quick work of cutting the round bar. You can use a jigsaw with a metal cutting blade in it. You can also use a reciprocating saw with a metal cutting blade. You can use a angle grinder with a metal cutoff wheel to make those cuts. And while I'm on that subject, always remember to wear eye protection and hearing protection when using power tools. The other thing, if you've got a lot of energy, is to use a hacksaw with a metal cutting blade in it, and that'll work. Now, after you finish making the cuts on the round bar, it is going to have a little bit of a burr on the end where you made the cut, and you're going to need to clean that up. The easiest thing to do that with is with a sander. A angle grinder with a flap wheel disc, sanding disc, also works really quick to smooth out the rough edges on the ends of the cut bar so that you can insert them into the holes in the newel post. Briefly, how to actually install the round bars between two newel posts. I have a mock-up here that I've made with holes already drilled into the newel post. There's basically two different methods that you can use to install these round bars in between the newel post. The first method is going to require you to drill the holes on one side of the newel post a little bit oversized for the round bar so that you can actually insert the round bar into the newel post at an angle and bring the other end over in line with the hole on the corresponding newel post and slip it in. One thing that you're going to do after you dry fit all of your round bars to make sure they fit is remove them, and then you're going to want to inject some epoxy into these holes so that it will hold the round bars after it sets up. I would recommend having an appropriate solvent on hand to clean up any epoxy that gets out on the bars outside of the holes or onto the newel post. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how the bars, if you have the holes a little bit oversized on one side, that you can actually slip the bars into the hole and slide it in so deep that the other side will come over, and you can line up this side and then bring it over and insert it into that hole, just like that. The other method that you can use to install these round bars is to actually leave the newel fastener that's holding one of the newel posts a little bit loose. Right now you notice that I have this wood clamp on there. If I take this wood clamp, I can actually twist this newel post around at an angle. At that point, I can actually install these round bars into the newel post just like this. Then after the round bars are installed into one side, what you'll do is grab the wood clamp and actually twist the newel post back in line. And then you can simply bring the round bars back into the hole on the other side. And there you have it, the modern horizontal round bar railing system.